Statue buying. Tricky business, eh? I think so. I have a big Jurassic Park setup going on. So I wanted a Triceratops, and there were two options. There was this one, which is the one I preferred, other than some issues we're going to talk about. And then there's one by Prime One Studio, this piece right here. You know, I didn't think this was worth it for the issues we're going to talk about, so I bought the Prime One Studio. And that was like 4 or 5 months ago, so no doubt it's on a container off the coast of California. Then lo and behold, Iron Studios did an amazing Black Friday sale with this. So now I'm stuck with not only one, but two, which could be a good thing.
Two chicks at the same time, man.
As the Extreme channel is pushing towards 50,000 subscribers, these are just a few of the statues we're giving away on the journey there. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey guys, welcome to the Extreme channel. Today we are looking at the Iron Studios Jurassic Park Triceratops 1/10 scale diorama. So let me unpack all that for you. The company that made this, they are called Iron Studios. This is from a direct scene of the original Jurassic Park movie. In my opinion, a fantastic film. I remember seeing it in the theaters back in the 90s, and it just blew my mind because for that time, and I think it still holds up, it was just a fabulous movie. And this is an iconic scene where they first got to see a dinosaur up close. This is 1/10 scale. So that means if this was real, it would be 10 times bigger. And as I said in the intro, I did want this one other than the flaws we're going to talk about today and one other big issue. But ultimately, I went with the Prime One Studio and then couldn't resist a fantastic deal that I'll tell you about in value because we're going to cover everything in the Extreme review today. We're going to talk about paint, sculpt, concept. There's some really good things, and just like most Iron Studios statues, there's some things I'm not a fan of at all. Recently, I did this review of the 1/10 scale Sentinel number 3 from Iron Studios, and just like this piece, I think it had some things that were amazing and some things that should have been way better. Let's just dive into this review. So concept-wise, as I said, this is taken directly from a scene in the movie. The only thing that is missing is Jeff Goldblum off to the side talking about a big pile of shit. They should have done that as an exclusive because then I would have bought it at full price. But on the bottom here, you have the bottom part of the base insinuates it's the underground and you have a Jurassic Park logo. It's fine. I'm not a huge fan. It does look classy. It's nice. Then on top of it, you have the scene where they jumped out of the Jeep and they saw a sick dinosaur. It was a Triceratops. So they all ran over to inspect it. The kids and Dr. Alan Grant were kind of having fun, where Dr. Sadler was working with the park official, trying to figure out why this Triceratops is sick. And I think this is an actual frozen frame from that movie. I'd have to go back and rewatch it, where Dr. Allen is letting the exhale from the dinosaur actually move his body up. The girl is actually a little bit timid, so she's farther away. And I think it recreates it great. The only thing that I don't know if it's similar is the ground itself. I don't remember exactly what the ground was on that. I'll have to watch it here in the next few months. So I think, you know, they're going for movie accuracy and not talking about likeness on the portraits, which we'll talk about in paint and sculpt. I think it's a 5 out of 5. I think they nailed that scene and it looks really, really cool and great. Now, it does create quite a few design problems, which is what we're going to talk about. But before we do that, let's look at the assembly. So there was one other thing. There was a Jurassic Park book, and I don't remember if he was holding that. I didn't look at the instructions, but I didn't like it, so I put it back in the box. There was also another flashlight down here. You can see she's holding a flashlight. I don't remember if the park official was holding that or if that was just a spare. Now, one of the problems this has, it has limited display ability for a number of reasons. One, there is no angle where you can see all the portraits. Two, it's so incredibly short. So it is only about 10 inches high. The widest point is 28, a little over 28. Then I'm gonna say the deepest point is probably about 15 and a half inches. For exact dimensions, go to Iron Studios website. Now the scale is a problem for me. That is the other big reason I didn't want to buy this. So this is 1/10 scale. In all of my other dinosaur pieces, I have this Mosasaurus from Prime 1 Studio. That's 1/15 scale. I also have Prime 1 Studios T-Rex, which is 1/15 scale. And then I have 3 more coming that are all 1/15 scale. So I thought, you know what, maybe if I put this on a different shelf below it, I couldn't tell the difference. But you can. If you want to see what the difference looks like, make sure you not only like this video, but you've subscribed to the channel and hit that bell notification, because I am doing a room tour here in the office on Christmas Day. And about 60–70% of the stuff has changed since the last room tour over a year ago. Now, if you did want to remove the characters too, you could. They all fit in via a pin or rod, and it's very tiny. So while it would leave little holes, it's not that negligible. However, I think it's really boring if it's just a dinosaur laying there. I think the big part of the statue is it tells a story directly from the movie. So I originally was debating not keeping the characters in there, because when we get to paint and sculpt, you'll see why. But I think that completely takes away from the statue. So despite the displayability issues, I still think it's a 4 out of 5 on the design for this piece. Although I could argue that the displayability is very difficult. Thankfully, I have it right at eye level, and you'll see that again during the tour. It's right below some of the Prime 1 Studios pieces. Now, paint and sculpt. What's crazy is they did great on the dinosaur, okay on the base, good on the character clothing, for the most part, a little bit of issues, but the characters themselves are a dumpster fire. Check it out. All right, so as I said, the winner of this is really the dinosaur itself, the Triceratops. We'll start with the base here, though. Now, while it's hard to see with the lighting here, the bottom part of the base here insinuates the underground, the dirt, and it has very similar coloring to the top here. That's a mix of brown and gray and green. And I think it looks okay. It's fine. It's nothing amazing. It's nothing that really blows up my skirt. Yeah, I wear skirts. They're awesome. Lots of air conditioning. The texture seems weird, and I think you feel the fact that there's some resin on it, like right there, you can really tell that doesn't look amazing. However, when you're looking at this piece, you're not really drawn to that. So you're drawn to the dinosaur and the characters, and let's hit the dinosaur first, because that is the best part. So up here, even the eye looks fantastic. He almost looks like he's smirking, smiling a little bit, which he was more of a sad in the movie. So I don't know how accurate that is, but I like the skin of it. Very reptile-like skin with scales and bumps. And then the colorization of it, a different color of greens and browns and grays, and even some highlighted blues all throughout his body. The horns look fantastic. I like how the horns here are a lighter color than the ones around this spiral, I guess you would call it. I'm not a paleontologist, so I don't know. But yeah, just the skin color and the sculpt of the Triceratops looks fantastic. You see a little bit of moistening effect on the tongue, a little bit of a beak on the front there. I think they did a really nice job, and it flows through the rest of the dinosaur as well. So the colorization of the skin, a little bit different color brown on the bottom, and even his feet moved to almost like a maroon type color that's embedded in there. I don't know if the toenails here, if that's what you would call them, are actually accurate. I almost feel like they'd be more of an enamel. So I'll have to go back and watch the movie to check. So that could be a big miss, but I'm not really sure. But I love the top of it. I think they did a really nice job, even looking at the back. The protrusions that come out all the way through the spine on the tail on both sides. Again, the skin very cracked, and it has that gray-greenish dinosaur aspect that we would speculate. Because remember, dinosaurs, we really couldn't see what their skin was. I know there's sampling and things of that nature that give us an idea, but for all we know, they could have been pink with yellow polka dots. So I think the dinosaur is absolutely top-notch. The base is okay. The characters, the clothing looks good. So let's start there. I think they did a nice job. There's a little bit of bleed over in the paint. His shirt's a little too dirty for me. This was earlier in the movie, and even him has a dirty effect. Granted, he's out there working, so I understand that. But they did a nice job with the detail on him, everything from the belt, the pants. You see some wrinkles and folds, the seam lines running up the side. Even the little Jurassic Park logo there looks great. And then Lex over here. The color of the skin looks good on all of them. So if you don't look at their portraits, I think which you can't because they're all facing down, I think they did a really nice job on the figures. It's the portraits that really ruin it. And as I'm pretty critiquing these, I'm pretty judgmental because I've seen good portraits on Iron Studios movie pieces before, like where the likeness was spot on. Lex over here, I think she is probably the best one, and that's a little bit of a stretch, but you can see right there, I don't see the actress at all. Alan Grant, not even close. That looks horrible in my opinion. And then even like his hand, his fingers are kind of melded together. So big miss on that. I don't even remember this dude's name. Surprised he didn't die. Likeness is okay on him, but granted he's wearing sunglasses and looking down. And of course Ellie, you can see the likeness a little bit. Again, her portrait's very hard to see anyway. I think they did a nice job with the hair, not only on this unknown guy, but Ellie and then Tim, I think his name was. They did a really nice job. However, I don't remember the colors being that good, so I think they did good on the sculpt, but the colors look really sloppy. I think his hair was a mix of the brown and blonde, not like stripes. And his portrait, again, hard to see. Try and focus in on here for you guys. Not as bad as Dr. Grant's. It's just so difficult to see without pulling the characters off the diorama. So in my opinion, the characters are a big miss with the portraits. Now, I didn't buy them for that. I do like the storyline it tells, as we talked about. So I can kind of get over that. And like I said, most of the time you can't really see most of these portraits. I mean, here I'm about 18 inches away from the back of it, and you still don't get a good version. But you know who the characters are because of the clothing and the positions when they're recreating the scene. So last thing, you do have the Jurassic Park emblem down here. I think it looks good, even though I hate these, but since the rest of my Prime 1 Jurassic Park has these, I don't really mind it, even though it is a different format. And the gold, the copper gold effect gives it a variation in the statue, so I think that helps. We'll start with the paint. Paint's much better than the sculpt. I think the paint's pretty solid. The only thing I don't like is the base, to be honest. So if I limited the base, it would be an easy 4 out of 5. And since you're not really drawn to the base, I still give the paint a 4 out of 5. I think Iron Studios did a really nice job on this. The sculpt's such a tough grade because, like I said, I think the dinosaur's phenomenal. I'd give the dinosaur probably a 5 out of 5, honestly. Then if you look at the character, the clothing, I think that's good. That's 3 out of 5. The base is okay. The character faces are 1 out of 5 in my opinion. But so actually, I'm not going to officially grade it. I think I just did for you. I told you where everything would land. But that's really the big disappointing part of this statue. However, as I talked about in the review, like even from right here, it's okay. So I can definitely get over that. So regarding value of this piece, this is, again, what really made me pull the trigger. The retail is $900, which I think is similar to the Prime 1 Studio, which is smaller and they don't have the characters, but I'm guessing the paint and sculpt will be better. I'll probably do a comparison video between those two when they come in. But regarding this guy, they made $350, which is a pretty low edition size. And instead of paying $900, their Black Friday sale was $640. So to me, that was kind of a no-brainer because I think you get a lot for that. However, I'm going to judge the value based off the retail price. Now, Iron Studios has a bunch of Jurassic Park pieces. And I believe like the T-Rex diorama, which I'm not a big fan of, is 1/10 scale as well. So if you want to match that entire line, you kind of have to go with this. Because like I'm telling you, the scales just don't look good mixed in my opinion. But I think 900 is a stretch. I think it's all right. I like the low edition size. I think it's a 3 out of 5 on the value at $900 plus shipping and tax. $640, I'd give it a 5 out of 5, honestly. I'm really happy with this overall. Bringing it to, does this have the X factor? I don't think it can. I think if the portraits on the characters were much closer, even twice as good as what they are, because they're about 5 times off, I think this would have the X factor. It's a pretty damn cool statue. I'm really interested to see if the Prime 1 Studio one will beat it when I do the comparison or the Extremble video between them, because I think Prime 1 Studio does great with their Jurassic Park pieces. But for now, I think I'm going to give this a strong 3 out of 5, almost a 4 out of 5, but the characters, they really just, for me. Not to the fact that dinosaurs laying down, but it does tell an iconic, cool scene from the movie. Now keep in mind, a 3 out of 5 means it's good. You get what you pay for. I'm very happy with this purchase. I may not keep both of them, While I do have space, I just don't know how it's going to look in the display in the end. I think this was an excellent deal, so tell me in the comments below, what's the best deal you ever got from a statue company buying directly from them? Or you can comment about anything. My good looks, who's your favorite president? Any comment will enter you into the contest to win a statue. To win one of these statues, all you have to do is make sure you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, you've hit that bell notification, and then just drop a comment below. Every 5,000 subscriber milestone, we are going to do a random drawing and pick a random comment and give one of these statues away, plus some additional ones I'm not showing right now. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. Thanks guys for tuning in, I really appreciate it. Make sure to stay tuned in, tons of cool videos at the end of the year. Again, hit that picture of me at the bottom to subscribe. You know what to do. And the like. And watch the videos. And comment.